Did you ever wake up in the middle of the night worrying about something and you just couldn't stop? Or maybe for you it happens at 3 in the morning. Well, I have something I want to share with you that's pretty easy to do that can really add to your peace of mind. Here's what it is. You want to take out a piece of paper, and whenever that thing is you're worrying about, you want to put it at the top of the page. And then you want to ask yourself 3 questions. What can I control? What can I influence or impact? And what do I have no control over? And then you want to answer those questions about the situation. Here's what tends to happen when we're worrying about something. What we worry about are the things that we either have absolutely no control over, or the things that we maybe have partial input into. So when you write it down like this, what you can do is you can then create a plan of action for the things that you have total control over and the things that you can impact. And when we take action, it reduces our anxiety and we feel more in control. I want to give you an example. So when my parents were still alive, my mom, who'd had a massive stroke and really needed total care, was living with my dad. Things were going well. He was overseeing her care. He couldn't do her care, but he could oversee it. And then I started to worry about what would happen if my dad were to die first. Now, this started to wake me up every night. For about a month, I worried about this. And then I remembered, I don't have to be anxious about this. I can do something here. So I wrote down what I could control. In this case, not a lot, but I could control my thinking. Now, a lot of times we don't think we can control our thinking. We can. You may need help with that. You may need some support and learn some cognitive techniques, but ultimately we can control our thinking. In this case, that's what I wrote down. I can control whether or not I worry about this. The thing I really could influence or impact was what the backup plan was for my mom. So I started to do research. What would we do? Would we have my mother move in with one of us? We had 5 kids in my family. Would she be in a nursing home? What would be the best care options? So I started to explore that. I could influence that, right? I could impact whether or not we knew what the backup plan was. And I could have conversations with my siblings to make sure we were all on the same page ahead of time if something were to happen. Then the third thing was, what could I not control? I bet you can guess what I couldn't control. I couldn't control if my father were to live longer than my mother. That I had no control over. So what I started to do was when I'd wake up in the night worrying about this, I would say to myself, what do you need to take action on? I'd review the list of things I'd written down. The other thing you can do is to have a technique, they're called cognitive techniques, to stop yourself from thinking about this. So one thing to do is have a technique that's stop. You tell yourself stop, and you force yourself to go back and look at those things you can control, those things you can influence, and to start working your plan of action. The other thing you can do is just distract yourself. You can go for a walk or watch a TV show. You can reach out for your support, whether it's a friend or a family member who you can talk to about your anxiety, who maybe will help you work it through and again, help you focus on what you can control or influence. That's the key. And if you have trouble with this and you can't stop the worrying and it's interfering with your day-to-day peace of mind, please don't hesitate to seek help from a counselor or a therapist. The goal is that we get to have more happiness in our life, more peace of mind. And a lot of times we are our own worst enemies by what we're worrying about. So I hope for you that you will try this technique and that you will have more peace of mind because of it.